Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Judi, and we're coming today from the offices of New Life Family Chiropractic in Plantation. And my guest today is Dr. Janice Stone. Hi, Dr. Stone. Welcome to Let's Talk About It.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
And today we're going to talk about healthy living for 2009. And prior to starting the recording, we talked about something you called diseases for dummies.
Yes, it doesn't sound very complimentary, but but what I call diseases for dummies are simply diseases that you can prevent based on your lifestyle. So we have a tendency to say, well, you know, high blood pressure runs in my family or diabetes runs in my family. But you can have 2 or 3 siblings of the same family with only 2 of them or maybe even 1 of them expressing those diseases. The difference is lifestyle. So it's nature versus nurture, that whole philosophy.
Right.
So it's more really nurture. It's not so much nature because you can have the genetic tendency or predisposition, but by your lifestyle, you can determine whether or not you're going to actually have those disease processes manifest in your body. So when I say diseases for dummies, it just means you can prevent it. So here are some simple steps you can take to prevent it. So things like diabetes, high blood pressure, which run rampant in our community, you know, and are pretty much every second person, if not every person, and not only adults, but we're talking children.
Yeah, I'm noticing a lot more people,
a lot
young
of
kids
children,
with,
young people with diabetes. And I remember my brother and I were having this conversation over the holidays, and we said, you know, we remember when we were growing up, children never got diabetes. When you heard of someone with diabetes, it was an older person.
and high blood pressure too.
And
Children
high blood
didn't
pressure,
have
so children
that.
didn't get that. And high cholesterol, where did all these things come from? So it's not so much, it really is our lifestyle has changed significantly. And even, you know, for those of us who are from the islands who come to the United States to live, we notice our health tends to deteriorate. It's starting to happen there too because what's happening? Nurture is changing.
And
Or
all that
activities
fast
are
food?
changing. All the fast foods, we don't walk as much anymore. Everybody has a car. You know, everybody drives everywhere now. Everything is so convenient. There's cable television, 24-hour TV. When I was growing up, JBC signed on at such a time.
I remember that.
And you knew it, you know, you left school, you came home, you had to play around a little bit, you know, get some exercise. And then, you know, you run inside and maybe watch a little TV, and then TV signed off and you heard the
At
anthem,
midnight.
and that was it.
That was it.
Exactly.
You got the color bar.
You got it.
That
That's
was
it. That's it. So, you know, now we're just sitting in front of the television more. We're driving more. I remember it was really funny because it was Christmas time. And we were talking about KFC being open on a Sunday now in Jamaica.
Yes, oh yeah,
And
they're
it's
open
full.
almost 24, yep.
Okay, that never happened when I was growing up because everybody cooked their food at home.
Sunday dinner,
Sunday
chicken
dinner,
and rice
chicken
and
and
peas.
rice and peas and your vegetable and your lemon, homemade drinks. It wasn't the bottled drinks with all the high fructose corn syrup. It was homemade juices, your carrot juice, your cucumber juice, whatever kind of juice that your mother made, usually from fresh fruit.
And vegetables from the backyard.
Hello.
And herbs from the backyard to cure whatever ill you had.
I was just talking about it. A friend of mine was saying it's African retentions because my grandmother always, no matter what ailed you, she could go outside, pick some bush of some sort, boil a tea, you drink it, and whatever was the problem would disappear.
My kids grew up on that. As young as I am, my kids grew up on that. My backyard had everything. I mean, search my heart, comfrey, leaf for life, you name
Jack
it.
in the bush,
Jack in
Jack
the
in the
bush.
box for fun, but Jack in the bush, all of these things.
Yeah, and even something as simple as orange leaf.
Hello,
and
lime leaf and the
soursop
lemongrass.
leaf and all of these
things are so good for us.
So nurture has really changed.
Absolutely. Our lifestyles have changed significantly and we're paying the price, and our children are paying the price. And it's really sad because especially with diabetes, the earlier you get diagnosed with it, so many more years are taken off your life. Just, you know, and I lost my aunt to diabetes, and I mean, she took her medication religiously, but it wasn't enough because there's still damage happening to the heart in particular, to the limbs, blood vessels. You know, that's major damage. Kidneys, everything.
So we are suffering as a people, as a nation. We are suffering. Our children are suffering. Hold that thought. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Let's Talk About It with Judi. And today we're speaking with Dr. Janice Stone of New Life Family Chiropractic in Plantation. We just talked a little bit about just general health. Now we're going to talk about her approach to health because she has a different approach to healing.
Absolutely.
Tell me about your approach to healing.
Well, my approach to healing is simple. I believe that mankind, you know, we're a 3-part being, mind, body, and spirit. And they're all connected. The mind is connected to the spirit is connected to the body. all connected, interconnected. It's like a triangle.
Right.
So you can't ever focus on one part only to the neglect of the other two. So healing, like anything else you're doing, has to be focused on all those three parts: mind, body, and spirit. And I believe that as a chiropractor. So what I do is not only focus on what I do specifically in terms of the body, but I deal with where people are mentally. Because mentally, if you're not prepared to heal, you will not heal.
And that's the part that allopathic medicine just completely leaves out. Here's a
leaves
pill.
out.
Yeah. Take this pill and call me in the morning.
Yeah, they don't think about the interaction between doctor and patient. Patients come into my office all the time, and I don't like to call them patients because patients tends to denote sickness, and I don't want to believe in that. But I tell them, practice members is what I really call them, and they'll say, just from talking to you, doc, I feel better already. That is valuable.
Yeah.
There's something important about that interaction between doctor-patient or doctor-practice member that really sometimes we forget that, and that's what we've lost in allopathic medicine these days, is because you see a nurse practitioner, okay, what's wrong? Head hurts you? Okay, here's a prescription. Goodbye.
Yeah, and your temperature is high, your blood pressure is high.
Yeah.
Let's take some blood. This is what's wrong with you.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.
Without thinking, what, maybe this person is depressed. Maybe this person walked in from a terrible situation at home, and that is affecting them as well. Because your mind affects your body. You ever notice, as soon as you hear some bad news, what do you feel? Your stomach tends to go into knots. And that's how did that happen?
Yeah, or you get a massive headache.
Yes, something happens. There's a physical reaction to your mental state, and vice versa. So we believe in mind, body, and spirit. Spiritually, we can't neglect that. Obviously not.
Right.
I'm a Christian, so I believe that God created our bodies with the amazing ability to heal itself.
And it's amazing that when spiritually you're just not in tune, nothing else can fit.
Nothing else is going to fit. Absolutely nothing else. And it starts there. So the top of the triangle is your spiritual life, the spirit man, because that's the part of you that's eternal.
Right.
Where you're going to spend that is your
up
choice.
to you.
It's up to you. But that is the part that's most important. So spiritually, you have to get spiritually right.
Right.
And you have to say, okay, God, this is what I want to do. Help me. Help my desires be like your desires. And his desire for us is that we be healthy. 2 John says, I believe, beloved, I wish above all things that you would prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So health is an important part of what God wants for you. And
it's important, I think, to recognize that health is not just physical health, but with your spiritual health. Sometimes you don't get physically healed, but if spiritually you're healed, then you're fine. Exactly. You can live with whatever it is that's going on. If spiritually you're healed.
Exactly. The healing is important. That's so important, because I remember, when Peter prayed about that thorn in his flesh, it wasn't so much that the thorn got removed. We don't know what the thorn was. We don't know if it ever got removed, but he had to pray that, Lord, help me.
And he asked 3 times, and God said each time, my grace is sufficient.
So what does that mean? He will equip you to handle whatever it is that you're going through. So that translates into your health as well. So spiritually, you have to get that right. Mentally, your mind, the battleground is the mind. The Bible says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and your mind is a part of that.
Right.
But you have to make sure that you decide in your mind that this is what I want to do.
Right.
I want to do this, and I'm going to set myself up in a situation or in a place and surround myself with people who are going to support that goal of getting healthy. And then the body now, obviously, if you get the mind right, then you're going to know your body may crave that chocolate cake. But your mind is going to say, wait a minute, that may not be a good decision for me to make right now. Am I going to be able to exercise and work that off? No, because it's all about balancing and making the right choices. But am I going to be able to exercise and work that cake off, or am I going to eat it, watch TV, and go to bed?
And I believe in balance. I believe that
Absolutely.
Disease happens because our body's obviously out of balance.
Absolutely.
So I believe in that balance of mind, body, and spirit. And
Most
I believe in that. Me personally, I believe in that. Medium. Finding that happy medium. Any extreme to me is crazy.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
And what may work for me is not going to work for you. My grandfather's 101.
Wow.
And he talks about that balance all the time. He says, you eat good food, you exercise, you take care of yourself. For me, maybe I have to be vegetarian. You may need to eat meat. But either way, you make your choices and you decide what works for you, and you proceed from there.
We're talking with Dr. Janice Stone at New Life Family Chiropractic. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.